This is yet another reason why Coke is better than Pepsi. In February 1992, Pepsi Philippines announced that they would be printing the numbers 1 through 999 inside the caps of Pepsi, 7-Up, Mountain Dew, and Mirinda bottles. The promotion was called Number Fever, and if you got a certain number inside your cap, you could redeem it for a prize. Seems simple enough. The prizes ranged from 100 Philippine pesos, which was about $4 USD, to a grand prize of 1 million Philippine pesos, or about $40,000. To put this into context, the equivalence of about $100 USD was the average monthly salary in the Philippines at the time. Unfortunately, Number Fever did not go as planned. Initially, it was really successful, increasing Pepsi's monthly sales and market share. Every night, the winning numbers were announced on TV, with people intensely watching while clutching their caps to see if they had won. By May, 51,000 prizes had been redeemed, including 17 grand prizes. Because the campaign was so successful, Pepsi decided to extend it another 5 weeks. And this is where they went wrong. On May 25, 1992, it was announced that the winning number for the grand prize was 349. Pepsi had printed and distributed 2 bottles with the winning number and the confirmation security code printed on it. However, they didn't realize that before the contest was extended, 800,000 bottles had been printed with the number 349, but they did not have the security code on them. If they had paid out for all of these bottles, it would have cost Pepsi an estimated $32 billion. Thousands of people rushed to Pepsi bottling plants to claim their prize, to which Pepsi responded that if you didn't have the confirmation security code, you couldn't claim the prize. The following morning, the newspapers printed that the winning number was actually 134, further confusing the public. On May 27th at 3 a.m., Pepsi executives had an emergency meeting. They decided to offer 500 Philippine pesos, or about $18 to people with the misprinted bottle caps as a show of goodwill. Over 400,000 people accepted the offer, and it cost Pepsi $8.9 million. However, many others would not accept it. They formed a group called the 349 Alliance and began boycotting Pepsi products. To be 349'd became slang for being duped. They also began protesting outside the Pepsi and Philippines government offices, and many of the protests were peaceful. However, on February 13, 1993, that changed. A school teacher and a 5-year-old were in the path of a homemade bomb directed at a Pepsi truck and perished. In May, a grenade was thrown into a Pepsi warehouse and 3 Pepsi employees perished. Pepsi company property was vandalized and executives received serious threats. 22,000 people sued Pepsi with civil suits and criminal complaints for fraud and deception. Pepsi was ordered to pay 150,000 Philippine pesos to the Department of Trade and Industry in January 1993 for violating conditions of the promotion. In June 1996, 20,000 Philippine pesos, or about $760 USD, was awarded in one of the lawsuits for moral damages. Lawsuits continued, and in 2006, it reached the Philippines Supreme Court. The court ruled that Pepsi was not liable to pay the amounts printed on the caps to their holders and was not liable for damages thereon. They wanted to lay the 349 incident to rest and move on. In 1993, PepsiCo of the Philippines was awarded the Ig Nobel Prize, which is a spoof of the Nobel Prize awarded by MIT's Journal of Irreproducible Results. They won the Peace Prize for bringing many warring factions together for the first time in their nation's history. And yes, after the incident, Pepsi sales plummeted in the Philippines. If you want to learn about more Ig Nobel Prize winners, head over to Dex's page. He has a whole series on them for Ig Nobel November, and they're pretty interesting. I tagged him in the description below.